You are blaming yourself for something that other people did. You are blaming yourself for something that was out of your control. You're putting so much responsibility on yourself, so much self-blame, shame, and guilt upon yourself. It is inhumane what you're doing to yourself, how you're treating yourself, and how much you are putting yourself in the forefront as though you are to blame for everything that has happened to you, every bad thing that has happened to you. Maybe it's because you learned this from early on in your childhood. Maybe you were always to blame when things happened in your childhood, when there were conflicts. You were the one to blame. You were the one to be scapegoated. Whatever it is that means that you're to this day blaming yourself for things that are out of your control, the things that you did not do, it is extremely damaging. And if we don't start to become aware of it, it starts to wear us down. And what happens is there is an imbalance in the world. Because every person who has harmed you, every person that was responsible for abuse or harm or bullying or degrading you, they are now totally free of that blame, of that shame, of that guilt, of that responsibility. For every time you take on something that wasn't yours, you are relieving them from their burden. It is not just that you are weighing yourself down by self-blame and shame and guilt, but you're relieving them of the burden that they were meant to carry. You're creating imbalance in the world. And this is not to victim blame, this is not to shame or blame you even further, but it is to tell you that there's a seriousness in this. There's a seriousness in not putting the blame where it belongs. There's a seriousness in you doing time for someone else's crime. There is an injustice, there is an imbalance. And the thing is that these people who harmed you, they're never gonna take that responsibility. And so you maybe learned that you needed to take that responsibility in order to create peace, or in order to create some sort of balance, or in order to de-escalate a conflict. You were the one to carry that shame, that blame, that guilt, that responsibility. And letting go of the blame, letting go of the guilt and the shame, letting go of making yourself the perpetrator when someone else was the perpetrator, that creates imbalance. That is injustice. That is undeserving. Undeserving to you and undeserving to them. They deserve that blame. They deserve that shame. They deserve to carry that burden. Even if they don't carry it, even if they will never accept that they were to blame for that. But in your own energy field, in your own mind, putting it away from you, letting go of what is not yours to carry, that will create more balance in the world, because you are getting rid of something that does not belong to you. It is almost like you have been carrying these heavy bags, you've been carrying this baggage with you, and these perpetrators that have harmed you, they're walking around freely. I'm living my life. I have no burdens. I have no bags to carry. And meanwhile, they keep harming people and they never get held responsible for it. The blame is never put on them. They're never held responsible. And again, they might never accept it, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how they see it, how they receive it. It matters how you see it. It matters what you accept. It matters what you accept to carry. It matters when you tell yourself, I'm not going to carry this anymore. This is not mine. This was never mine. And it's not just that you've carried something for them that was heavy and painful, but at the same time, they have taken away your freedom, the freedom to be you, because self-blame, self-shaming, making yourself guilty for something that is not your responsibility, that is a heavy burden to carry. That prohibits you from living freely. It prohibits you from feeling love or feeling loved or loving other people. It prohibits you from feeling safe in the world. It prohibits you from healthy relationships. When you constantly blame and shame yourself, it is to live in constant worthlessness. You're constantly learning that you're not worth anything and that you are responsible for everything that happens. And that is a lot of pain to carry, a lot of pain that is not yours and never was yours. You can put down the bags. It doesn't mean that the perpetrator is going to pick those bags up. They won't. 99% of the times they won't pick that bag up. They would rather leave that stuff with you. But you have a choice in whether or not you are going to pick those bags up and start carrying them and carrying them with you throughout your life, letting it weigh you down. Or are you going to put them down on the ground, leave them and walk on and live your life. Live a life of freedom. Live a life of self-love where you're actually building yourself up, supporting yourself, letting yourself be supported, letting yourself be helped, allowing someone else to take responsibility sometimes. Because if you constantly step in and try and carry those bags, try and take that responsibility, try and put that blame on yourself, no one else is gonna do that. Everyone else is either just gonna live their life, not do anything, or those people that are actually healthy and people that actually want to take responsibility for what they have done, people who not just do harmful things, but people who are responsible humans who want to take care of things, who want to do things or help you, you prohibit them from helping you. You prohibit them from taking responsibility. And this shows up in so many different areas. But for instance, if you have a visitor over, you might assume that you have to do everything for that person. You have to cater to them in every way. You have to almost be their slave, as though you work for them. When in reality, what you are deserving of is an equal relationship. It's a balanced relationship with other people. It's a give and take, where sometimes you are responsible and sometimes you're not responsible. Where you can focus on your own well-being without feeling like you're letting other people down. Where you can take responsibility when needed and leave it when it's not needed. And when you leave it, there's a chance that some people, good healthy people, are gonna pick up those bags, carry those bags for a little bit, and then they might be putting the bags down later on. But it is not your responsibility to carry those bags. You have your own bags. You have your own responsibility. What was done to you, the harm that was done to you, the abuse, the bullying, the shaming, the blaming, it was never you. It was never your fault. It was their responsibility. It was their fault. It was their harm. They were bad people. They were harmful people. They were the perpetrator, not you.